on 10/17, he announced that he's dropping all his artists except Portugal. Listen to this.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Listen, I wanted to make this announcement on 10/17 yesterday, but I just seen like my statement, my P&L with all my artists. You know, it's almost like a whole bunch of shakeup and it's a whole shit show in the industry right now. But when I look at my P&L and me being a businessman, I think that I'm gonna have to release almost all my artists except for Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano. This is a decision I didn't want to make.
What's up, y'all? So Gucci's getting rid of everybody but Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano.
I thought about it, you know what I'm saying? I can keep all of them under the contract. But I said, hey, fuck it. Let's just make the unselfish decision. And let them take their talents elsewhere. So today, you know what I'm saying? I already reached out to all of my artists, you know what I'm saying? To the lawyers or whatever, and let them know that they're free to take their talents elsewhere. And I'm still looking for new talent to pair up with, you know what I'm saying, Pooh and Fu. And that's what I'm going to put.
Don't do it, y'all.
And I just wish them the best. And I just want to let everybody know that because, hey, that's where we at.
Man, the music industry.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Listen, I wanted to make this announcement on 10.
Man, the music industry is in shambles, ain't it? It's very clear that, you know, and by the way, Gucci contradicted himself so much in that. He said, yo, I could have held him on the contract, but, you know, I wanted to be a real nigga and just allowed him to be free. Well,
this part, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on. That's I was talking to somebody last night. That's sauce in the ketchup. There's no need to put that extra shit in there. Like, I looked at my profit and loss. I made adjustments. Okay. Versus I looked at my profit and loss. So I dropped everybody but Pooh and Fujiano. So basically I dropped everybody but Pooh. But since Fujiano's Pooh's best friend, I got to keep him like Giannis and Giannis's brother. So damn, okay. But everybody else is gone. After I looked at my profit and loss, I realized I wasn't making nothing off of them. I was just spending money on them. But out of the kindness of my heart, I dropped them so then they can take their talents. They weren't yielding any sort of anything to someone else. Out of the kindness of your heart, Gucci. Thank you. I salute you, bro. Thank you.
That would sound good if you didn't mention the first part of, you know,
yeah, that would sound good
P&L. And P&L is a profit and loss statement, which means how much are you profiting versus losing with a certain investment. And yes, music, being a label or investing in musicians, that's an investment. Yeah, if you're probably losing money. So really, it's not just being a real nigga to let them go. It's also a financial thing. Atlantic letting go all their artists are not re-signed.
But it can't just be that. It always got to be off of the strength or something. It can't just be off the strength of common sense or good business.
With the label, it works in a few ways. When these guys sign deals, you know, well, there's several deals, but I'll tell you ones that typically artists sign, especially if he has artists not as. By the way, he kept the most successful artists, which is Fujiano and Pooh Shiesty. So the others are less successful. Almost guaranteed the artists that he got signed.
And rest in peace.
Ones that number one are signed for like maybe.
He had to get his chain back.
Right, you're investing in them. You're probably trying to help their career kick off 5 albums. Right, not only 5 albums. These people are required to probably turn in the project a year or whatever the case is, and this is how it works. You gotta pay them when you pick up an option. So it'd be like, all right, say it's 2 and a 3, right? Which means guaranteed 2 albums or guaranteed 1 album, then it's a +4 or +1 +1 +1. Which means,
listen to this.
Which means guaranteed 2 albums or guaranteed 1 album, then it's a +4 or +1 +1 +1. Which means you have to pay these guys. So you got to give them an advance.
Now break it down from both sides. As the artist, let's say it's $1 million contract for 4 albums. So basically $1 million for 4 years on good terms. On bad terms, it's perpetuity or whatever. It's just whatever. Shelf it. On good terms, it's renew, restructure, renegotiate, you know what I mean? Continue. So the idea is they give you the $1 million. Okay, so now you have 500,000 because after taxes or whatever. And then after 500,000, you divide that by 4. Or no, you have your expenses, whatever, and then your regular, like your actual gain. Then you divide that by 4. Boom. And so, or you want to just do it simply, okay, $1 million, $250,000 a year for 4 years, boom. And then take your expenses out of that. That's what you get paid. That is what the label is going to present for you. And on the flip side, on the other side of the table, the label has to pay the artist something. So they're going to put it up front at once, but it's going to be, there's a word called disbursements. And so then it's still collateral towards the money. It's still attachment to the money, but it's no liability towards the money. So it's like a disbursement. So then it also get that out of their book, get that off of their books. And then they're all right, cool. We got that taken care of. But then at the same time, they'll get a product in hand, and they'll have another product, which is the artist in development. And so it's like a 3-cylinder game. They have the principal, they have the investment, long-term, and the short-term investment that's making short-term gains. That's in like the best case scenario. So.
As long as they're delivering the deliverables. Now, if you think that the music industry is in shambles and you're not going to make your money back, you probably want to get out of that contract, right? So it's not necessarily about.
He's talking about as Gucci, as the label, you want to get out of that contract. As the artist, it's all loan money anyway, so they haven't made money yet anyways. And so there is no like feel for like 95% of the artists that take the loan out. Like, back to the disbursement word, the contract I signed, I get 97% of it. I said 97.3 due. And it's 2 disbursements in August and December. So I'm not just talking about it. I'm talking about it as I'm talking about it, as I've been exposed to it, and engaged with it, intertwined with it.
Holding these artists against their will. It's about, do you think your investment at that time, this is why people have options in contract. Do you think your investment is going to be worth it or not?
It's a 1-year term.
So I think Gucci's realizing, first and foremost,
unlimited singles.
Like I talked to all the labels. Y'all know I work with all these labels. But they're not trying, like, if you're not a big dog, it's a waste of time to drop music for the rest of the year. Everybody's shutting down. The labels are damn near about to shut down, right? Like, usually they shut down.
Which is terrible advice for the independents, or it's actually just terrible advice in general. But specifically to the independents, if you're not a big dog, there's no point in dropping. Because first of all, if you know about music, you know the big dogs drop in the fourth quarter anyways. Why? Because that's when the big dog companies have more money to dump for tax purposes. So we're going to spend this money on expenses anyways. And actually, we're going to get credited in like 3-4 months because we actually spend it on expenses. And getting back to that 3-cylinder. And it's in a system so you can guarantee the money coming on. So we're not worried about paying for the light bill. So yeah, we'll just put this up in front and get paid twice for it, 3, 4, 5 times for it, for the rest of the time, for the rest of life, every single day after I put it out. Like, it's very simple. That's why they try and complicate it so much. And the business side of me, I was good at booking the meetings, good at getting the information done, figuring out everything. But like the artist side of me wanted to just help and shit like that. And so I wouldn't ever charge. Like after I couldn't charge my real rate, I couldn't charge. I just stopped charging. Like I did this one chick, it was like $35. I'm all right, I'll do an interview, do a shoot, and I'll write some songs for you. She's like, I got that. And I'm like, all right, just bring 20, put fucking $5 in your tank and get some food like on the way home or on the way here, whatever. Like I didn't have no car. I still don't have no car. I had a whole parking spot at my other spot, paid for like every fucking month, $70 a month, just in case I had somebody do an interview or some shit, or I had like a guest or a girl or whatever. Everything. You just make accommodations for motherfuckers you and involve. So, that's terrible. About talking about hold your music. No, because then you could catalog your music, and then also like SZA, she go like 30,000 every month. She don't go. Oh, she just broke. She hit 1 million in a week. She didn't know. That's just a steady 30, and that's what, 250,000, something like that, at the end of the year every year. Like everything. And she how old? 25, 26, whatever. Or no, she's like 30 something, 30, 31. But like that catalog gonna be around forever. And so what? 25% of that, twice a year, 3 times, 4 times a year. Because that's the publishing. There's sales, and then there's publishing. But I don't get publishing no more because I'm not the publisher anymore. I didn't push the button to release it. That's the trade-off. But also you have to understand that publishing is only a ratio of, or an example of a piece of the equation of what the sales did. So if there's a good publishing check that I'm missing out on, that means I might have mismanaged a good sales check already. Because there is no good publishing check without a good sales check. Because the publishing, like I said, is a percentage of what the sales do. So it's like another cylinder. It's going to feed the company without the artist partaking in investments. I know I was doing all this shit by myself, by this little computer, getting on charts and shit. Motherfuckers was getting shitty. Had to figure out a way to stop it. So that's the only reason why I signed, just so my music go back out and shit. All right, and I was finding out, like, motherfuckers spend time trying to find pussy the way I was trying to find, like, music channels and shit. Bitches online, the little hashtags, they try to go, before they go to the city, looking up girls in the city and shit. I was doing the same shit, but like models in the city. All right, influencers in the city. Hey, take this picture. This is my picture. Use this caption. Use this hashtag, and I'll pay you $50 to put it on your Instagram. And then that's a digital footprint. So now everybody in different places are seeing what the fuck, and then they click on the hashtags and they all saying the same shit, different places. Shit like that. That's why this should be frustrating. Don't confuse me with these niggas. All right, this was just an idea I came up with. It wasn't even like this is the way to do it. This is my way to do it.
Mid-December, they're damn near ready to shut down right now. Why? There's no momentum, no movement.
Back to momentum. All right, so you snowball your progress, especially when it's flat. All right, you gotta climb, you gotta sprint. Let's say you have an obstacle course, you gotta sprint, you gotta crawl, you gotta walk. It goes flat, decline, and incline. You gotta choose to do one for each terrain. Yeah, I would definitely. Let's see. Yeah, I would sprint uphill, I would crawl backwards downhill, and I would just walk on flat. That's what I would do. And so that's different obstacles in life. That's just how you gotta like pace your shit. And so yeah, when it's circulating, then you just walk. You go to red carpet events, say hello, be visible, visibility and shit like that. When it's not circulating, when it's down, then you gotta, you know what I mean? Motherfucking spread up. You gotta do a lot more. You gotta climb back up. So that's you gotta do advertising, you gotta marketing, you gotta do a lot, overload on production. You gotta. I knew the studio wasn't gonna be an option. The music was gonna be an option the last like year, 8 months, year. So I did 300 some videos on YouTube. That's what I was doing, building this up. I was like, in the meantime, let me do this. Like, I'm not trying to sell tickets. That's my whole thing. I'm building a museum. I'm not trying to sell tickets right now. So then you sprint up, do the promotion, financials, and then when you're going down, That's when you just kind of crawl down because you know you got to do it again. It's all about laps, cycles. So you think about, all right, what happened? But it's also like the hardest part, quote unquote, is just not because you got to think about not breaking your leg when you fall down and shit. So you got to slowly crawl down backwards. Boom, 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 boom. And you can think about everything, you can analyze everything, and you can rest for them because you know you got to, as soon as you touch the ground, you got to sprint right back up. And then you can walk, posture, take pictures, act like everything is okay when everything is okay. And then when it's, you got to be normal in normal circumstances, and you got to be irrational in irrational circumstances. The only part of the day that you look crazy, stop, dropping, and rolling is when you're not on fire. Yeah, as soon as you're not on fire no more, trauma, whatever. But if you're not, if you mean, but if you on fire, that you look very reasonable doing that. So you have everything going to shit around you, and everybody's acting crazy around you and wild around you. Then it's best to when in Rome, do as the Romans. Because then you can still gauge your sanity. Because then it's still the X and Y variable. It's not just you trying to force one to be the X or one to be the Y, or one forever be the Y. Like, you can at least, okay, I'm going to assimilate real quick, and then I can at least, okay, they don't give a fuck, don't give a fuck. So I can either choose to stay or just leave. Or, okay, they give a fuck a lot. So I can either choose to stay or I can choose to leave. Or I don't know enough. Deep dive. Stay more. That's how I think. So you definitely, circumvent competition by just creating circulation. That's how you do that. But there's checks and balances and red tape, whole bunch of everything that we don't even talk about right now. But I would say that's the worst advice you could do is to hold your hand. Because you came to gamble, you came to play. You know what I mean? You came to play, you knew gambling was part of the play. And so, I'm trying to win. I'm not worried about, anyone else winning or losing. I'm just trying to win. So it's like, you have to, that's why I put out those albums, 12 albums in 1 year last year on purpose. I know Michael Jackson only has 10 albums in his whole catalog. And I put all them in pop chart categories. And I'm in Indiana too. So if I had put out 12 that went on charts and there's only 10 available on the other one, in my head, I have juice now. It's not like, I know it's digital streaming era and all that other shit, and like sales is different and all that. Y'all know I didn't sell more. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying chart-wise, I was able to do something that I thought was dope. And if you're not a hater, you can't really knock that. Because if you're not a hater, you really don't know probably one person that got one on the charts personally, much less double digits in the same year. Much less independently. Much less he paid for every fucking second in the studio. And he wrote every letter on the paper. And it's actually his story. So if it goes through all that checks and balances, then I salute him. Shout out to him, whoever he is. Because it probably was fucking hard.
It's just down here. They're just calling it a wash. Right? So again,
Another thing about independent, you can't have no down year because there is no down year. It's like self-employment. It's like the guy, there is no down year. Like I remember I was going to this little corner shop. I'm getting Swishers, and I'm like, hey, yo, when is this usually open? I got there like 8:30, whatever. Waited like an hour, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to just walk back. I'd rather just stay here and wait until I figure out when like it should actually open, so I know now. And then he's like, it usually open around the same time. I'm like, all right, well, what time's gonna open tomorrow? He's like, about this time tomorrow. I'm like, motherfucker. He's like, all right, bro, like 9:30, 9:36. I'm like, all right, bro, thank you. Like, but yeah, you gotta get a baseline. Yeah, establish a baseline right there. But you gotta create your own momentum. Because I'm sure he didn't want to wake up earlier than that, but he realized, all right, I'm bugging if I don't get to the store by 9:30. That's just too much people that just came through and missed for me to just, you know what I mean, be self-employed. So back to you're self-employed if you're independent. You subsidized if you're on a label. It's like the scholarship athlete versus the non-scholarship athlete, or the scholarship student versus the non-scholarship student. One got a job at Chick-fil-A and shit, and one just go to the library, go home, shit. So it's all about insulating yourself. Like I said, that's the only reason why I signed the deal. So now I know it's gonna go da. And talking about this dead period, I just heard back they talking meetings and shit, Billboard and shit, talking about it might be a top 10 release. I would not have been able to do that shit independently. I proved I wasn't able to do that shit independently. More juice, plaque, all that shit. I need all my plaques anyways. But that's another fucking story.
Saying this, these guys not only have to probably get advances, right, and back ends, or
no advance, 97% of whatever comes out of that case.
Half when you pick up the option, half when the other one comes in, or they might just have some time markers in their contract.
And I put my ex on the song.
Overheads. Like,
and example, I put her as a producer on the song, so she gets paid for everything. Little umbrella practice. No, you don't trick and spend money on bitches. You invest your skills and your time and your heart and your energy.
Production company, and that's financed by the bigger label. Which what that usually does is every quarter you have to cut them a check. Who knows what that check could be?
Every quarter I cut them a check. Exactly. So that 30-40 minutes fucking with me having fun in the studio.
Quarter, or it could be
versus that little fake date I could have went on and shit all that.
Every quarter.
I'm in my bag, like I am some ruffles. Ruffling these feathers, but these hoes that they gon' do something.
This is another thing. Stop recording on your phone. Stop doing that shit. Stop doing that shit. Please stop doing that shit. People told me to stop doing that shit. 2021. I put shit out that I recorded on my phone. On everything. Stop doing that shit. Stop doing that shit. That's like if somebody go to a car show and it's like a floss candy paint, iced out paint job versus a motherfucker you and your kids had some like paint brushes and with like Home Depot paint. We could tell. We could definitely tell. Like you could tell. Motherfuckers could tell. Motherfuckers rather have the quote unquote fly designer shit that's a size too big or a size too small, but it's designer versus just getting some shit that fucking fit. Like motherfuckers could tell. And then also you could tell why. That's like the direction thing. What's the point of this? What is this for? Who is this for? Are you talking for you? Talking for me? Talking for everybody around us? Talking for who you? What is this for? Oh, I know what you're doing. That's my favorite thing. And girls always, boom, snap, fall right back in the line. They start laughing because they're like, oh, you're not falling for it. No, I'm not going. No, okay, I know what you're doing. And then they get real with themselves. And then it's just a little joke afterwards on everything. Literally.
You know why you're going to fucking get out of that deal or cancel? It's probably because it's time for an option. Or you're not trying to pay out that fourth quarter. Like, once you get to October, it's the fourth quarter. Trust me, it's the fourth quarter of the year. Man, get out of these contracts. Save that money. Music is not selling right now.
Okay, bonuses, and Christmas bonuses.
I'm going to be honest with y'all. If I'm a new artist, I hope y'all listen to me on this. Don't be thinking about for the next... Things change. This is an industry that...
And keep in mind, he's the one that gets paid by the labels to talk about messages and shit. Keep that in mind. You see what I'm saying? I'm just the nigga that's worked with damn near all the labels independently, and now I'm finally signed to one. And I have a distribution deal with one. And it's not exclusive. I can go sign a real. That's what I'm saying. It's not. I waited. I've been talking to these motherfuckers since 2019. It started as an 80-20 deal. Now it's a 97-3. Plus, etc. And the first part of the reason why is because the dude was a producer / R&B singer. And he also is, the company's owned by Luxembourg, like whatever the fuck that company is. The airline, the internet, the private airline is in Dubai and it's in Singapore, it's in London, and it's based in New York. So it's already global possible. It's to start out with. So you're not landlocked into competition, currency competition. And I'm a global artist to start with already. I mean, like if you look up all them Spotify raps and shit, just get on Instagram or whatever else. You'll see Drake, all them niggas, they capped at like 150, 160 for the countries. Because they can't, there's certain licenses that they can't do business in other countries. Versus I was in 176 like 2-3 years ago. I don't even know. It hasn't happened yet this year. You can go everywhere. And that's just countries, much less the 200 and some territories. Like, We in over 2,000 cities with paying customers. And they wanted a piece. So now fine, they get their 3%. But that Jay-Z Cartier thing, at least now my liquor's gonna be on every plane, in every lobby, in every party, and everything versus just in New York. That's the idea.
You know, you got to work with ebbs and flows. In the next year, if you're not signed, don't sign. Like, just grind it up independently because a label ain't down to spend on you right now. If a label should be a bank and they're not willing to spend, that's a problem. And if they're supposed to have all the resources and they're not willing to push you, that's a problem. So you might as well just be independent, try to get some organic buzz. And then in a year from now, because the industry will bounce back. Like right now, I'll be honest with you, this is a 2008 for the music industry. You know, in 2008, in financial terms, it was a recession, right?
Like
Stock markets are like, you know, abysmal descent there. That's what it is this year for the music industry.
No, it's not. Okay? This is bad advice. I'm not gonna break it down, but this is bad advice.
And they're back and forth, and there's a few like, you know, artists, like for example, Rod Wave, just, you know, he's about to do like 130,000. If you look outside of that, nobody's selling shit. So this is the
who's Rod Wave signed to? Back about insulating himself. So if you have to play in this playground, you might as well be on the team with all the stuff, all the access, all the tools, all the everything. Like, he's 10K. I think he's signed to 10K. And that's Elliot Grange. And Elliot Grange is Lucian Grange's son. They did he has like a 70% market share value of all music. He's the CEO of Universal. So yeah, that's gonna work. Just like I broke this down a long time ago. Motherfuckers called me a hater, a whole bunch of shit about the young boy shit. He has a deal for $1 million, right? He sells $100,000, right? 100,000 copies, right? $10 a copy at $100,000 is $1 million. Which means he has 0%. He already said he is 0% of his deal on YouTube because Leo Cohen owns 300, or he's the CEO of 300. Atlantic owns 300. He also works with YouTube. So if I own this record contract with Youngboy, if YouTube owns the contract, who are they gonna put in the front of their YouTube for free every day to grow the stock of that investment? Like, that's why I'd be so frustrated. And I'd be like, our culture gets so impressed with the glitz and glamour, shiny, dumb shit. Versus like, this has been fortunate in this shit. This has been very fortunate in this shit. I'm not trying to throw this out there and shit, but like, I'm not even gonna say that. But motherfuckers just get impressed with just the dumb shit. And it's like, every other music genre has competition based off of competition. Like Garth Brooks, who's the other motherfucker? Luke, Brian, them niggas is not having like who got the newest watch competition in the hallway during the photo shoot. They're telling each other vacation spots. Oh, they use all that shit like that. Like, like, I don't know if that to be true, but I never met either of them. But you see what I'm saying? Like, the competition it's like it was like the NBA and every other genre. Like, it's already spoken for. Like, the season's already happened. We don't need to try and like fake fight now. We have the boxing match tomorrow. This is just the weigh-in in the press. Like, we can get to that tomorrow. Versus award shows getting shut down and shit, so now it's actually just looked at as a criminal element instead of just an artistic expression that was outside of the criminal element. That's why you don't even know what hip-hop is. That's like, it was the rebellious kids that weren't doing the other shit because they met up in the park. Backpackers. Oh, you a backpacker ass nigga. You an old school ass nigga. Backpack. Yeah, can you have your speaker and shit because you had to learn to run from the cops, so you put it in the backpack and ran. because you can't have more than 3 or 4 black people in a circle, otherwise it's a gang injunction.
Recession year for music, and if I'm a young artist, I don't sign in the next year. Sign when the labels are back to their peak, because if the label can't help you at their peak capacity, or they're not operating at the peak capacity, why bring your buzz over there when you could?
Because they already planned for that last fourth quarter. That's why they spend the first and second quarter. All right, let's make sure we got this shit in the third quarter, because the fourth quarter is just excess money. It's like, fuck, we gotta get this off money. So they're not gonna. No, that's why Times Square, all that shit. We're gonna buy all those ads in November, in October, in December. We're gonna buy all those Super Bowl ads in February, in December. We're gonna do all that, them big purchases during the fourth quarter dump, because then we can walk into profit for the first quarter. Be it momentum, extra clients, and that's
100% of, even if it's 100% of 100% of $50, or let's say $30.
So back to the music shit. It takes 2 months to get paid from music, anyways. Your performing rights organization it has to sort through it. Like, it has to figure out your ISRC code, match your UPC codes, match per the. It all has to talk to itself, and it shifts to talk to the bank to deposit was actually there 2 months later. So it would take until December 20th to start making money if I put a song out earlier today, just to start seeing any sort of money. So why would you just? I'll never start the process to make money. Especially if it's on you to start the process to make money. I didn't get that.
2% of $100. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
This is the dumb math.
More than
I see what he's saying. I'm gonna break it down.
2% of $100. Of 100% of $50, or let's say $30, is more than 2% of $100. You know what I'm saying?
He said 2% of $50, whatever, is better than 2% of $50. Like, I know what he's saying, but the scale would have to be different. Basically, like, a percentage of something is better than 100% of nothing. That's the same. But it also would be a different scale if it's going to be scaled like that. It would be like 20% of 100, so 20, is better than what? 100% of 1,000, something like that. It had to have bigger. It'd be a different scale.
Anyway,
not 100% of 1,000. Not a damn 10% of 1,000. I'm tweaking. My bad.
He's keeping the right artist. I do think that whenever Pusha used to get out,
or 30%. 2 more years. No, I'm breaking this down. I'm figuring this out. So it would be 20%, 25% of 100 would be better than 20%, or better than. $25 of 100, 25 would be better than 30%. Let me see. This is a very slow moment. I apologize, y'all, but this is not really guidance television, so I'll be on point. I didn't say I was all the way on track. What's up? What's up? Oh, 100 times 0.2. It's 20. And then 1,000 times 0.2. Definitely wrong, guys. I'm absolutely wrong. Okay. So it would be like, it'd have to be sliding the other way. It'd be like that way. So it'd be like 20% of 100 is better than 10. 10% of 50. Something like that. So one number would be bigger, but the other number would be smaller.
Pusha Icy's gonna be on fire. Pusha Icy's gonna be going crazy. That's my guy.
Pause.
I know some people, especially like Whack and everybody on Clubhouse, that suggested otherwise, but I think people have a lot of respect for Pooh Shiesty. He took his time. He shut the fuck up. You don't see him kicking and screaming and crying like, oh, this wasn't fair. He seemed like the consummate street nigga. Like, he know what he did. Shit, did he kind of blow?
But that's not even that. That's not even that at all. He actually got fucked over. Like, he was no consummate. It sounds like he don't even know the case. What the case was that got him put away was motherfucker said he was a fan when no, Pooh said he wanted to buy some shoes. The fan said that, okay, the guy said he's a fan and like he wants to meet him, take a picture or whatever. I'll knock the price down. So Pooh's like, all right, cool, I'll pay you in cash then. The dude and his cronies try to rob Pooh and his friend. So they got in a shootout, whatever. Pooh runs back to his car, gets his Draco, pulls the little door up, and the dude's about to like try and fire at him. And Pooh's like, don't try it. And just drove off. But he dropped like the money and shit. So the money was used as evidence in the crime. But it wasn't even the crime committed on him. It was just that he left the scene and all the other shit. So yeah, he's 21, 20 years old. He should know that shit. But it's still like, what the fuck, bro? You got like 5 years or whatever for some shit that happened to you. And then you spared that nigga too on everything. Like, but he knew right and wrong on everything. Like, this is not what I came here for. I came to buy some fucking shoes, and this nigga trying to play with me. Like, shit like that. That's another thing. Installation. Send your man to go get those shoes. And if it's checkout, all right, you ride with us. We got to go down the street. He's right there waiting for you. It's still fucked up. I can't tell him. I just how I broke it down. I'm not telling him what to do. I'm just saying, like, this is fucked up what happened on everything. Yeah, but the actors made it seem like something it completely wasn't. It was nothing like that. It was just stupid decisions in a sequence of stupidity. That's all it was. Because also he could have gotten like 1 or 2 years for criminality, like the idea, the mindset. Because if he was thinking about getting away, he would have thought about getting that bag and driving away. He would have thought about getting the gun and then driving away. It would not have been a gun there. It would have been extra space for the bag to be there. You see what I'm saying? Now, if he would have discharged that, bust that motherfucker, that would have been different. But like 1 or 2 years, he should have been home by now. It's been like, he got since like 5, 10 years or shit like that. God damn. USP Putnamville, 6B, everything. Free Shiesty.
Free Shiesty. But shit, he was keeping it in the streets and shit caught up to him, did his time, and he finna come back out. Cannot do it, right? Cannot do it. Right? We gotta talk about
you see, I never play with these relationships online. I never call these motherfuckers online.
Just change. What? It's not necessarily that marketing has changed. The companies don't spend money no more. Bro, these companies are literally downsizing. Half of the executives, bro, put it like this. Like,
again, it's not that they're downsizing. They're downsizing in America. It's tech natured now. So they're going to where tech is valued, not just entertainment is presented. America is not good at anything else but military. And I hate to wake it up to everybody else that don't know that. We are not good at anything else but military. That's the only reason why America became a superpower, is because of military. Everyone else is advanced in every sort of common living everywhere else, except for like the third world countries, the fucked up places, unfortunately. But everywhere else is nicer than everywhere else here. We just have more freedoms. That's like the trade-off. Because it's backed by force. It's not backed by reason and right and wrong. It's backed by punishment. Yeah, so that whole, investing in tech companies overseas everywhere else. So it looks like the budget on American international transaction GDP is not the same thing as the motherfucking stock exchange. Like, there's money, then there's economy. There's beef, and then there's war. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's motherfuckers micro and macro. So that's why it's 1, 2, you think about both at the same time. get through it, and then make it light and laugh about it afterwards. Because then while you're getting through it, you're still thinking like it's not that big of a fucking deal. And after you're done, you're like, oh no, it's making all right. That was easy. All right.
All them executives from Atlantic you see got fired, bro. They're getting paid like $2-3 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Yo, get them off the books. Fired. Bro, they probably cleared out $50 million a year in paying executives. Get them out of here.
Get them out of here. No, 15 million off the books right by Christmas time sounds like a Christmas bonus. That's what it sounds like. It's like a red ribbon because she been putting up with your shit all year. That's what it sounds like. Literally talk about, and I be having these ideas and this information and this intelligence, and motherfuckers be like, "You crazy?" It's like I'm overexposed. Cause I was in a room with billionaires and shit like that. I didn't even plan on being. Met people. I just had to be sharp in the moment, and then I matched there. And I'm like, "Oh, that's if you touch a stove, that's cool. If you touch a cigarette lighter, that's cool. If you touch a light, like there's different intensities." And then once you get exposed to a certain intensity, you're exposed to it. Especially if you didn't shy away from it, you actually matched. You rose to the moment in those occasions. So yeah, that creates confidence, and the momentum sustains the progress. Because there's no doubt. It's just execution.
So, it's just right now, the industry is downsized until they regroup and figure out what's going on. Then they're gonna.
The bonuses, boom, take on and off the books, and then we broke even this year. Hell yeah, boom. We made a profit or we didn't make a profit because some people can't make a profit at a 501c3 non-for-profit. And so, boom, everybody got bonuses. Nobody made any money this year. Good job. Excuse me. And then what you do is now we have to have an incentive for payroll. We need a bailout from the government now. We're not doing very well on paper. And this is crucial to the society's functionality in terms of comfort and just atmosphere, and just ambiance in the community. So it's important. Excuse me. So yeah, let's make this a priority. And then you just recoup that way, and then you have plenty money, house money to work with for the second quarter. And then by then it's actually generating money off of that global fourth quarter investment. You ever like book the trip 2-3 months later on, and then you get there, you're like, oh yes, cool. Hey, we gotta go next week. Shit like that. Like it's delayed gratification. That's like you put it in the air and it fall down. It's the business of music. It's not the music industry.
Get back to spending a lot more. That's just how it goes. It's never gonna be in this piece for too long. So just don't bank on it. Speaking about Young Thugs, we talked about him earlier.
All right, so that was cool.